Good morning, volleyball fans, and welcome to the 2024 AVP Chicago Open as we get started here in our number 3 seed, Taylor Crabb and Taylor Sander, facing off against number 14 seed, Wyatt Harrison and Brian Miller. I'm Rob Espero with Victoria Dennis on the call. What should we expect to see in match number 3 here on court number 1, Victoria?
Yeah, well, we can expect anything and everything here at the last heritage stop of the AVP Tour, and basketball shoes being one of them from Taylor Crabb. So keeping it funky and weird, the story behind that, well, we'll find out. But what a play, trying to get a dig kill on that, and that ball landing in for Crabb.
Harrison knocking it down over on 2.
Harrison and Miller have played the last 3 AVP events together, Wapaka, Virginia, and Manhattan Beach Open. They qualified for Chicago by taking a 3rd at Virginia Beach.
Roger, your question on the chat room, was he really allowed to play with sneakers on? I don't know. This is the first time I've ever seen this.
Yes, you can wear whatever shoes you would like, or no shoes at all. So we've seen sand socks, and you're usually barefoot playing this sport, but there's no rules against shoes or no shoes.
For all you watching, listening in, Vic thinks there was a bet that was lost by Taylor Crabb, and that's why he's wearing the sneakers on the court as they serve 3-2. You're looking at the service line, the 6-foot defender from Honolulu, Hawaii, Taylor Crabb serving. Harrison denied at the net by Taylor Sander with a rejection up top.
Yeah, Sander, a standout player since he's made his debut on the sand a few years ago. 2-time Olympian on the indoor squad for Team USA. And Sander has had 3 blocks in 8 of his 11 Heritage Series matches this year entering into Chicago. So he averages 3+ blocks almost every single game that he plays. He sees the court really well and just takes away that space.
3 serving to 4 after the first side switch. Brian Miller seeing the block of Sander, just rips it right by. Going to that soft roll is the shoed Taylor Crabb.
Crabb step closing to that ball and dropping it short. Great vision there from Crabb.
Maybe Taylor Crabb got a shoe deal right before the Chicago Open. Miller on the pass, and Miller hits high line. Crabb gets, we got a net violation, is the gesture by the R2. See if we can see it in the replay. That'd be Sander going into the net. Had to be down low. I didn't see anything up top. Did you, Vic?
I can't see from this angle.
And you're looking at Sander going wrist away on the winner. Go up 6-4.
Yeah, great vision there from Sander. We can expect the Taylors to keep spreading that offense. We've seen them run down the middle more often than not, but expect to see it over on 2 just like that from Harrison and Brian. Great first ball side out from them.
Wyatt Harrison, a former standout at UC San Diego, was such an exciting outside hitter to see play in the indoors. Another outside hitter from BYU is Taylor Sanders. He takes it down on 2.
Yeah, Sander sees the court very well. We can see that he's in the air, takes a look to the left side, and that quick hand-to-ball contact.
I think we're going to go conspiracy theory on Taylor Crabb's shoes on the sand. So Vic says gambling, I say shoe deal. What say you in the chat room or in the crowd zone? 8 serving to 6. You're looking at Taylor Sander back to service line. The former BYU Indoor All-American and AVCA Player of the Year. High line pokey. Was there a touch on the block? None to be called. So point going to Crabb and Sander. Making it 9-5 on the turn.
That's the right idea there from Harrison, looking for that touch, but just went up and over that block of Sander.
Sander listed at 6'4". Or actually, he gave it an inch since last 6'5". blocker from Corona, California, lives in Huntington Beach. His first season on AVP was 2022. Set to the right side. Miller finds the empty real estate. 6'9".
Yeah, Miller and Harrison, this is their 4th tournament this season together. So they've had plenty of reps under their belt, and they've found success in the last few tournaments as well. So we know they finished a 3rd in Virginia Beach. They are finding their rhythm. They're serving aggressive. They lost to Cook and Caldwell in Virginia Beach to take that 3rd. So they've been playing some really great volleyball together.
Just saw Brian Miller with the block on that attack of Taylor Sander, just getting that left hand on it. Miller, the 6'8" blocker from Mercer Island, Washington, went to Washington State. Perfect pass by Sander, and Sander goes cross court on the crush.
Yeah, great vision there from Sander. Standing at 6'5", has that reach. Able to see that corner. Sander has 5 wins on the AVP Tour, all with Taylor Crabb, including 1 on the Tour Series.
See the attack air there by Brian Miller. We're getting a lot of messages as why is Taylor Crabb wearing shoes? Inquiry minds want to know. We're trying to get to an inside source.
Yeah, boy.
As we see the dig to kill by Sander, bearing those shoes on that dig and not inhibiting his game at all. JR and Dayton, next set in flip-flops? Why not? Ripping out the right side. Wyatt Harrison.
Great swing there. Yeah, what a swing. See in this replay, a fast step close up to the apex of that ball. He saw the puller and was able to swing right at him.
Tough serve down the line over towards Crabb. Crabb handles, goes that deep corner shot. Knuckle dig by Miller, but looks, or correction by Harrison, but not able to get a good dig in the sand on that first step. It was Harrison.
Yeah, that ball just behind the top of his head there. But Harrison had quite the career on the indoor side at UC San Diego and has continued to make waves here on the AVP, a part of the USA Development Program here in Hermosa Beach. So
Thank you.
I'm laughing because I'm enjoying the chat in the crowd zone. They're saying flip-flops, plateau shoes, and cowboy boots in the next few matches for Taylor Crabb.
I see pick there in the chat, cowboy boots. Why not? A little bit of line dancing out there. Those dancing feet in the sand. We can see Crabb there in his basketball shoes.
Well, that would put Taylor Crabb at 6'1" if he wore cowboy boots, or even 6'2" if he got those ones with the big heels.
That's why he's wearing them, because he stands at 6 foot. He wants another inch on the span, Rob.
Everything helps, right?
There you go.
13-8 in our technical timeout. You're looking at Brian Miller on the right, Wyatt Harrison on the left. Five-point lead as Sanders steps back to the service line. It's his 20th AVP event, and get this, he's placed in top 5 in every of those 20 events that he's played in the AVP.
Ryan, or number 2.
Yeah, doing it alongside Taylor Crabb for the most part and solidifying those wins. They're a very fun team to watch. What a side out there from Miller and Harrison.
Right. Go.
Going cross-body on the 2 balls. Sander and Harrison there to clean up and get the transition ball winner.
Nice play from Harrison. Standing at 6'6", hometown Santa Cruz, and spent some time growing up in Hawaii. Now resides in the South Bay training with Team USA.
Crabb goes a knuckle shot. Harrison on the cover. And swing away as Harrison dug up and out of play by Crabb. So point going to Harrison Miller.
Vision there from Miller. We can take a look here. He's able to carve the outside of that ball with a fast arm swing. I like Miller taking that wide set, spreading that offense.
Sander goes over on 2 and tomahawk chops off of Harrison.
Harrison and Miller are finding some rhythm here in the first set, trying to close in that gap.
Good. Fine.
Good pass by Miller at the right side. Miller rolls it off the block point. 12 looking at 14.
Miller high lifted apex set gives him this opportunity to utilize that big block out in front.
Just rolling it off the line, Sander.
Yeah, they do a really great job of that. The Taylors, when they run in the middle, a lot of windows of opportunity open for them, and that deep jumbo shrimp is one of those.
15 serving to 12 after the coffin corner shot by Taylor Sander. Sander with a tough jump serve down the line, trying to keep it in place. Harrison delivers into the corner. Excellent play by Harrison in transition.
That is so hard to do. One of those sets coming from behind your head, getting it on his attacking shoulder, and then a textbook deep seam swing. That is one of the hardest hits to hit in the game of volleyball.
Razzie, there are no rules with shoes. As Vic said, there are no rules. You can wear sand socks, and apparently shoes now.
There it is.
Rocking it out of the right side is Taylor Crabb. 16-13. Crabb, the 6-footer from Honolulu, Hawaii, with the Long Beach State. Serves over towards Miller. Miller finds an empty window down the line.
Miller threading the needle there on the pin. This team having a lot of success running their offense on the pins. They're doing a great job of utilizing that high line and executing sharp props.
Sander putting one in the highlight reel again, taking it one-on-one and dropping it right in area 6.
Yeah, Sander is attacking at a high efficiency, batting .714 in the first set here with 6 kills.
Miller on the tight pass, and Harrison takes care of the 2-ball on the termination.
They need to keep utilizing that 2-ball. It really helps speed up that offense on their side of the net, and especially when Sander has to run up to the net when he's serving, there's a moment of opportunity to score in that window.
Tight pass, Sander knuckles it. Touch on the play. Hard to get a read on the referees. Let's see if we have a replay. What do you think, Vic?
Might have looked like there was a touch, but I think it was an
18-15, there was a touch. As you see Miller go crossbody on the rip off of Crabb, 16-18.
Yeah, point for point here, right? The Taylors were able to have a pretty significant lead early on in this first set, but Miller and Harrison have really settled in on their side. They're playing aggressive out of system and in system.
Ball goes over, fake attack by Crabb, sets the shoot over to Sander, and he knocks it off the block of Miller.
Yeah, and that's just a play that this team can run because they've been playing for so long. I mean, it's one of those things where they're just thinking the same thing at the same time. They don't have to communicate it out loud. They've been in this scenario before. They know to run that tempo set to the pin when it's tight like that in transition.
Sander almost hits the bottom of the net on that jump serve. Being aggressive from the service line. Makes it 17 serving to 19. Miller back to serve. Here on our near side. Sets at the right side of Crabb. He just knuckles it deep corner. We have our first set point at 20-17.
Yeah, Crabb keeping it steady. We can see him have that vision. He's still able to jump out of the sand with those shoes on. Manipulated that ball deep into that corner.
To Miller. Miller at the right side goes over the top. Over dig for kill, or the D2K for the winner. And set number 1 going to Crabb and Sander as they go up 1-0 by taking that first, 21-17. Vic, the crowd zone is active about the shoe theory. What do you think?
It is active, but it is not hurting Taylor Crabb right now. 0 attack errors. He's hitting 667 on the ball game. Only 1 dig for Taylor, though, as Harrison and Miller were able to find rhythm there in the latter half, being able to bat 667 as a team. Harrison, 9 for 9 kills. Pardon me, with 1 attack error, so that might have been on an overpass, but 3 kills for Harrison and Miller, or 3 digs, excuse me, were able to keep them in this game. So they were digging balls and then putting them away in transition at a higher percentage to close in that gap. But first set going 21-17 to the Taylors.
They're both hitting at such a high clip, with the Taylors hitting at 714 and Harrison Miller hitting at 667. It's coming down to errors here, and obviously the team of Harrison and Miller have 3 unforced errors attacking wise versus the 1 for the Taylors.
And we know that the Taylors have punched their ticket into the very exciting AVP League that will premiere in just a couple weeks. Kicks off September 14th at the UCLA Tennis Center. Teams will be battling. So Chicago, the last chance for these teams to try and qualify for that AVP League draft.
Now, with the 2 heritage events, only 2 teams have qualified on both the men's and women's side, and that's the Taylors, and then Theo Brunner and Trevor Crabb, the winner of the Manhattan Beach Open. On the women's side, Taryn Cloth and Kristen Nuss, winner of the MBO, and Melissa Lumano Paredes and Brandon Wilkerson, the winners of Huntington.
So we'll see what team they get to be placed on in the AVP League as set number 2 gets underway.
Taylor Crabb immediately winning that joust, and he seems to win all those jousts, Vic.
Well, he times it so well. It's usually whoever touches the ball second gets the joust in their favor. We see it on the indoor side too, when setters go up to joust against those big middle blockers or pin attackers. Whoever touches that ball second is able to throw it back on their opponent's side.
Miller back to serve his 37th AVP event in his career. Goes over towards Sander. Sander swings to the right side and easily cuts it inside the block of Miller.
Yeah, great cut there from Sander, catching the outside of that ball. I like him running behind there on the pin, opening up that left side of the court.
Crabb goes over towards Harrison. Harrison being a great offensive source of points now for the Miller Harrison side.
Yeah, Harrison unloading on that ball, where that looked like it was Miller.
No, sorry.
Attack error by Sander, which doesn't happen too often. Ties it up at 2s.
Miller and Harrison have to utilize those unforced errors if they want to come back here in the second set.
It's 3 serve at 2. Harrison with a serve. And finding an empty net kill is Taylor Crabb. Actually, he hits long. So
another unforced error in favor of Harrison and Miller.
Crabb on the deep pass. Crabb looks and shoots right in area 4. Beautiful shot by Taylor Crabb.
So in the 3 seasons as partners on the AVP, the Crabbs are 57-5 when winning the first set, statistically speaking. So we'll see if it's able to go to 3 here.
Deep serve, Harrison on the attack, dug by Sander on the one-hand stab, and Sander on the attack misses long. 3 attack errors here in the second set for Taylor Sander.
Yeah, something we don't see too often, but again, that set being one of the hardest to hit at any level. When it's coming up and over your shoulder from behind you, you have to track it and then place it in front of you.
Sander gets a set inside, and he goes off the block of Miller. Smart play by Taylor Sander.
Yeah, nice high hand there from Sander, trying to just keep calm, cool, and collected when you have those unforced errors. It's really important to just focus on the next point, 1 point at a time.
Right side attack by Miller. Overpass comes by Harrison on the 2 ball. Miller puts it away.
Yeah, great swing there from Miller, taking a rip down that sideline. Seeing that Crabb stayed true middle.
Crabb on the pass in area 1. Crabb denied at the net by Miller, just pressing over the net and shutting it down. Great block by Brian Miller. 6'8" blocker from Mercer Island, Washington. Tight pass saved by Sander. Ball landed in. Wrist away, goes off the block by Crabb.
Yeah, great work there from Crabb as they try to come back here in the second set. But in my opinion, I think we might see a third setter here. I might be speaking too soon, but Harrison and Miller are really finding that rhythm, and these unforced errors in the second set are going their way.
Well, without a doubt, the Taylors are gripping and ripping from the service line, and that's what's gotten them at Taylor Sander, one of the top servers at Manhattan Beach a couple weekends ago. And it looks like another attack error. 9-5. Something's gotten into the water of the Taylors. This just isn't their style of play. A lot of unforced errors here in the second set.
Yeah, the Taylors have 7 unforced errors alone in the second set, giving that 4-point lead here to Harrison and Miller.
Another unforced error, but this time on the side of Harrison and Miller on that serve.
Both teams trying to push the envelope at the service line.
Harrison sets to Miller, and Miller cross-court crushing.
Yeah, they are finding their rhythm and flow here. Again, on the pin is where they find so much success. They feel very comfortable attacking on those wide sets.
Another unforced error, service error to be exact.
Trying to push the Taylors at a system at the service line. It's a good aggressive error.
Left side attack, knuckle poke down the line. Sander didn't even jump on that ball.
No, he didn't. No, yeah, I believe it was a double there, Rob.
8 serving to 10. Double contact called on the set, pulling the Taylors within 2 in their second set. Testing out Harrison in that deep corner. Great dig by Sander. Over dig, and the 2-ball option knocked down by Miller. Great dig by Harrison to give Miller that opportunity to knock it down. He just had to jump and swing.
Yeah, big time. Great read there from Harrison, knowing Crabb likes to go over on those 1-balls in transition. Harrison read it like a book and just set his partner up.
Crabb going to that high ball in the middle towards Sander, and Sander usually wins out like he did just then. So he has such a great jump and great vision on the attack.
Yeah, he's able to read in real time and make those adjustments. And when he runs inside like that, his momentum's already going to that right sideline, and that's where he's finding a lot of success in a quick arm swing.
Blasting off the block is Brian Miller playing pinball off the Sander block. 12-9 as they go into the technical timeout. Vic, it's a must-win set for Harrison and Miller. So what are you seeing in this turnaround of events in the second with that narrow 3-point lead on the Taylors?
Yeah, well, it's hitting percentage. Right now, Harrison and Miller are hitting 625 as a team, and the Taylors, they're batting 091. So not too hot for the Taylors right now. And it's the unforced errors that they have at the moment. A total of 7 still for their side have given a significant lead to Harrison and Miller, but Harrison and Miller are also just earning points on their side as well. Miller is seeing a lot of attacking action at the moment, has the majority of the attempts, only 1 for Harrison, 7 for Miller. And Miller's just putting balls away. He has 0 attacking errors, and he's hitting 714 and adding in a block alone in the second set. So that has truly made the difference.
Well, 7 of Harrison Miller's points are due to Crabb and Sanders' errors. So, 7 free points, only 5 points of work for Harrison Miller in the second set.
And who knows, maybe Harrison and Miller, will they get that wild card into the league? Yet to be determined, but they want to try and play for the LA Launch or New York Nitro or Brooklyn Blaze. Who knows?
Austin Aces, the Palm Beach Passion. As you see that serve float long, 10 serving 12s are scored in the second set. Sanders 6-5 blocker. Another unforced error, this time a service error into the twine. You have to think that playing in shoes in the sand, I mean, walking around in the sand with shoes is tough enough, but playing, it's gonna be challenging.
Yeah, extremely challenging. Don't know the reasoning behind it, but maybe a little birdie somewhere will let us know later down the line.
Yeah, we're trying to go to our sources around the Taylor's camp to see if they're gonna drop any info for us. Crabb with a serve and throwing it down the line is Wyatt Harrison, 14-11.
Nice play from Harrison. You can see in this replay, he just adjusts to the set with his set close. So at this level, these athletes do such a great job of just keeping their spacing from the ball on that step close. It's very important.
Harrison going horizontal on that dig and transition and getting the winner. Gotta love the effort by Wyatt Harrison, the former Triton of UCSD.
They are feeling that momentum, and Harrison is digging volleyballs. What a read there, and it's that extended arm when he descends into that dig that lifts it off of the sand.
Dropping it just behind the block on that rainbow roller is Taylor Crabb.
Hailing from the Rainbow State, Hawaii, out of Honolulu.
Sander back to serve, trailing by 3. Goes into the seam, stepping in the pass is with Miller, and throwing down is Harrison again.
Yeah, the Taylors just look completely out of rhythm, to be honest with you. And it's just a testament to the fact that nobody's perfect, right? Even at this level, even the best athletes in the nation, everybody just has good and bad days. But at this level, are you able to turn it around and find a way to win?
16 serving at 12. Miller runs up to the net to block. And Sander just going to that wrist away roller. Great range by Sander, showing off the full tool set today.
It was a tight pass from his partner, Crabb. Sander made do with it.
Set to the right side and swinging away. Miller, but Sander says, not in my house.
No, and that's exactly how he is averaging close to 3 blocks or more a game, is that he saw that shoulder going into the seam and he pressed low into it.
Yeah, boy.
Only trailing by a pair. Another block. Back-to-back stoppages by Taylor. Sander pulls him within 1.
2 huge momentum plays for the Taylors. They've had battles like this before. They've been down. We've seen them be able to work back. It's how they've been able to find themselves in the finals 10 times on the AVP tour. So will they be able to turn it around here? For me right now, Harrison and Miller, they're playing a great ball game. It was back-to-back momentum plays for the Taylors, but Harrison and Miller, I believe they're still in control of this second set.
Well, I remember watching Taylor Sander back in his indoor day, not only in college, but playing for USA and professionally. but he's such a super freak on the block. He'd always get those clutch blocks, even though technically he was undersized as a blocker. But he just found a way to get good reads and press in on those attacks and get those points whenever his teams needed them.
Yeah, outstanding vision. Indeed.
But then again, he's always been Mr. Clutch back in his BYU and as a Italy and USA men's indoor national team days. He'd always be the one going, the go-to guy for points.
Yeah, and he's leaned into that role here too on the AVP. He likes to be that go-to guy. He likes to be the flashy player. He loves the fans, getting them involved. And when you're feeding off of your partner, Taylor Crabb, who also has that same spark and spice, a lot of good things can happen.
Deep serve to Miller out in area 1. He swings away. Crabb gets a hand on it, but unable to control it. 17-15.
2-point lead here now for Harrison and Miller. Great deep seam swing again, spreading that offense on the pin.
Harrison goes to Sander this time. And Sander, just an easy roller by the block.
Yep, placement, not power there from the 32-year-old out of Corona, California.
Showing his range from the blast to the butterfly shot. Lefty shot by Harrison, goes off the cable and down, 18-16.
And all these teams are just fiending for a victory here at Chicago. We know the Manhattan Open is legendary in itself, but Chicago trails with the most frequented stops in the AVP history. So a lot of history here in Chicago. All these athletes want a piece of that trophy.
Joust up top, one out by Miller. Sander gets a second shot at it. Bump set by Crabb, and Sander on the fade away cutting.
A little finesse there from Sander. What a fadeaway shot from him, being able to manipulate that ball in the air. It was a little bit behind him, and it's really all he had there. When he's reaching back behind him, you can only do so much. Great play.
Crabb steps back to the service line, creating the buzz on social media with the shoes now, apparently. And winding up out of the right side is Miller.
Yeah, we know Crabb can dance back there as a defender, but Miller is finding such great success in that deep seam, that area 1-6 seam, that back right part of the court.
Crabb bounces it as a souvenir into the crowd, 18-19.
And we've seen Taylor Crabb do it all, right? He was MVP of the AVP in 2019, 5-time AVP Best Defensive Player. We know he can do it all, and now we're seeing him do it in shoes.
Crabb testing out Harrison now.
Yes, come on.
Harrison drills it down the line. Crabb made the right move, but was only able to get a paw on it. Great read by Crabb, but a better swing out of the right side by Harrison. 19-19. Oh, there was something called on the last player. We missed a play from the slow-mo.
Nobody.
Harrison on the pass. Wyatt on the put away. We have set point serving to 19.
And they have just been steady. Wyatt Harrison doesn't let anything flashy, rock him at all on his side, and same for Miller.
Miller, deep serve to Crabb. Crabb looks, dropping his Miller. Good pickup. Taking it down is Crabb, and then Sander delivers on the opportunity up high in the middle.
Yeah, pokey coverage on both sides of the net, but that put away from Sander in transition, I believe this replay is from previous, right, Rob?
We're getting some broken footage here as Crabb serves, trying to get a sense of the score. 20-20 is our score here in the second set. Make that set point number 2 for Harrison and Miller, serving at 20. Sander picked up by Harrison. Harrison blocked by Sander. Harrison goes down the line, and looks like we are going to a third set tiebreak as the team of Harrison and Miller pull out the second set victory, going extended 22-20. Vic, thoughts on where we are at as we go into our third set tiebreak?
Yeah, it's defense for Harrison and Miller. 3 digs and a block to go with it kept them in that ball game, and they were able to find success in transition. Sure, we had the 2 blocks from Sander, but it wasn't enough to solidify that second set victory. And Harrison and Miller, they're calm, cool, and collected. They are not rattled on their side, and they are not afraid to make aggressive plays.
Well, you did mention that they seemed a little out of rhythm here in the second set, but they turned it on there in the tail end. In fact, almost pulling ahead there, if not for a call late in that second set.
Yeah, the Taylors, they know what it takes to play at this level. As I mentioned, they've been in the finals 10 times, and being able to turn it on at this level when maybe your team isn't having the most in system or things aren't going your way, you have to find a way to make it work. And that's what the Taylors did, and how they're able to come back in the second set.
Well, both of them are hitting pretty even here. 590 for Harrison Miller and 548 for the Taylors. Yeah, but there have been a lot of errors on both sides, so it's not really clean ball that's happening here.
Yeah, that hitting percentage dropped for the Taylors in the second set when they had so many unforced errors. So again, it was the unforced errors, but also plays made by Harrison and Miller. They're making plays on their side, and they're not just waiting for their opponent to give them points. They're going out and they're creating points on their own, and they're earning points on their side.
We're waiting for teams to take the court here in our third set tiebreak. We are still sticking with our trend here on our Court 1 stream, courtesy of Bally Live. We've gone to 3 on every set so far in the AVP Chicago Open, Vic.
Yeah, and the AVP League around the corner, and these teams, you know, Harrison and Miller, maybe they'll get that wild card to be included in the AVP League draft that will be happening shortly after Chicago.
Harrison testing Crabb again. And we have a double contact called on that set by on Taylor Sander. 1-0 for Harrison Miller.
Yeah, rarely seen, but a tight set there was called.
Going wrist away on the winner. Crabb 1-1.
Yeah, so a race to 15 here. These are what the athletes are going to see in the AVP League. Every set is going to be played to 15, still 2 out of 3 sets, but it's going to be a very, very fast-paced game as we see here.
Knocking it down on 2 is Harrison, but he misses wide. Break for the Taylors.
Yeah, try to paint that sideline, but not going to find it. That's the right swing there from Harrison. It's an aggressive error.
Sander on the serve, right side attack by Harrison. Harrison goes off the outside hand of Sander for the winner. 2-2.
Again, on the pin where they find themselves the most comfortable attacking. They do a great job of seeing the court there when they run those wide sets.
Miller over towards Crabb, and Crabb duck up and over by Harrison, and Sander takes down on 2. Just a little soft knuckler to get that easy point. 3-2 on the turn.
Yeah, a fast game here. We're switching at 5s on in the third set, but they tried to run that tempo play that wasn't on purpose. Crabb going over. He was trying to set Sander there.
Over on 1. The sorry not sorry shoot set winner. Right side to Miller. Miller knocks it off the block of Sander, and he's frustrated because he got a good line of his attack. Off the head and out of play.
Sander knew he was in the right spot, just bounced off the block a little bit weird for him.
Sander runs it out to the pin to Crabb, and he blasts it out the right side. 4-3.
Yeah, for
It's
Crabb,
like the shoes aren't inhibiting him at all.
No, and for him to be able to have to play in those shoes, that we can speculate all we want why he is, but he's making plays.
Harrison with a good pass and knocking it down to Miller. Or vice versa. Harrison with a blast on that 2-ball. 4-4. Sander finally gets a serve, and Sander goes crossbody on the crush.
Yeah, quick crossbody from Sander. He saw that defender slide into the angle. They doubled down on that angle, and it was crossbody window open.
Sander getting up to get down, gets the stuff block for the winner. Goes up 6-4 on the switch.
A huge block from Sander. He delayed at the bottom as he saw Miller slow down his approach just a bit and reach wide outside of his body.
Crabb steps back to serve after the side switch, trying to close it out here in our third set tiebreak. 63 AVP events for Taylor Crabb in his career so far, as Miller rocks it down the line.
Again, Miller is a well-oiled machine there on that pin. He loves the right side, attacking high down the line, and he finds success by keeping his shoulders square every time.
And Miller gets a read on the Taylor Sander 2-ball attack as he sends it right back just as quickly as it comes.
That is a huge block for Miller and Harrison. They needed that point to keep themselves in the ball game here.
Grab off serve receive, goes cross body on the winner. Tied at 6 is now 7-6 for the Taylors.
It's a quick hand for Crabb, being able to carve that up on the inside of the block. He disguised it so well by keeping his shoulders square in front of him, and somehow his rotator cuff let him make that play.
Sander to serve. Keeping it on Miller, and Miller goes off the block in the antenna.
Miller is having a ball game and a half for his team. He is so
Miller just swinging high and hard, knowing that the Sander block is going to be there. Crabb on the pass. Crabb gets up quickly. And again, a cross body cut for the winner. 8-7 on the switch. Allen 0639, that's hilarious. He recently had his big toe removed and is insecure about it. It's good stuff. 8 serving to 7. Harrison goes over on 2. 8-8. Good
Harrison,
looking.
great vision there from him.
Harrison at the service line. Bad pass by Sanders, saved by Crabb. Out of system play, just turns into a free ball. And Harrison hits it long. Missed opportunity for Harrison and Miller. 9 serving.
Yeah, that
8.
unforced error. We haven't seen many unforced errors from them, but they've been aggressive in their play since the ball game started. Harrison hitting 684 on the match is really going off offensively.
Great serve by Sander, picked up by Harrison. Harrison knocks it inside the block of Sander. Harrison
Good vision there from.
there.
Yeah, he is. He's been playing with confidence all game long, and that's how he's been able to find success. He's making reads on defense, and he saw that Cuddy out in front of him and just fully leaned into it.
9-9. Sander on the out-of-system play and just chops it down the line easily, 10-9.
He loves chopping it down the line cross-body like that on the option plays. He knows that the momentum of his approach is going towards us in that seam that you can see on that replay, and he goes against the flow back to that corner.
See Miller winning out on that one. Just going off the block of Sander on that second ball. Or correction, Harrison.
Wyatt probably holding his breath there on that play.
Harrison steps back to serve. And Harrison cracks it long, aggressive serve. Right in that 5-6 seam.
If it was 2-3 inches shorter, that would have been an ace. A 100%. It's a good aggressive serve from Harrison.
Pulling back on the jump serve was Sander, and overpass knocked down by Miller on that easy second ball. Great pickup there.
And this is what they train. When they are served short, they want to go to the option.
Working area one on the serve. Crabb, D9 at the net by Miller. And we have a lead change at a crucial time of the third set. Harrison and Miller now up 12-11.
What a read from Miller, knowing Crabb likes that soft shot down the line. A delayed block from Miller for a stuff block.
Sanders going to get a chance on the attack, and there's no such thing as a broken play for Sander. He just takes a rip no matter where he's at on the court.
Yeah, when in doubt, just swing it out. That's what I have to say. Why not? See what happens when you take a rip on that ball. And that's what Sander does.
Sander, just a living highlight reel as you look at Miller delivered down the line there. 13-12. Miller seeing that empty space and jumping inside there was Sander. He's anticipating that cross-court shot all the way. Harrison back to serve, working Sander and serve receive. High set to the pin, and Sander sends a fireball out of the left side.
And just like that, a tied ball game, 13s apiece. Sander being able to find ways to score.
13-13 as Sander wipes the sunglasses off. Here in our AVP Chicago Open. It's crazy, this event's been going on since 1984 here. Great iconic location. Right side attack. Picked up by Crabb. Crabb gets up. Knuckles it by the block. Picked up by Miller. Miller swings away. Sander gets a dig on it, but
Brian,
trying to get a sense of what was called on the court.
Absolutely.
I'm not sure what that call was. Wasn't able to see it from this angle. That's a great out-of-system play. Looks like Miller reacted before. It might have been
match point now for the Taylors.
Here we go.
And buying time is Miller as he pokes it through the block of Sander.
Brian, you.
Gosh, I'm curious what happened that last play because all the video cut away from what the call was.
sending us into overtime.
Board contacts, possibly, is what I'm thinking. Never try to call it before the referees do. Ball's wiped off the block by Sander, and Sander blasts it. We have match point number 2, serving to 14.
Spreading that offense. The Taylors love that quick tempo play in transition. And to do it off of a platform too, I mean, well executed.
Crabb, again, sticking with that standing float serve. Thought he's going to go for a hybrid. And easily delivering down the line is Brian Miller, tying it up at 15s.
Smart move from Miller. Seeing that high line again when he kicks out on the pin. Taylor taking a step to his right. Miller reading that and leaving his hand eye on that ball to guide it.
Scorebug maybe behind, should be 15 all, but we shall see. And knocking it off the block is Miller. Harrison back to serve. Tied at 15s. Bumps that to the middle. Crabb easily delivers down the line. Makes it look so effortless whenever he just hits a shot. Vic.
He does, and he's able to do that because he's done it hundreds of thousands, if not millions of times in his life, playing out the Outrigger Canoe Club when he was a kid and now on the tour for so long. But an out serve will be in the favor of Harrison and Miller.
We've got match point for Harrison and Miller. Crabb on the pass, 2-ball attack by Sander, misses long, and that means a set and match going to our number 14 seed of Wyatt Harrison and Brian Miller upsetting the number 3 seed Taylor Crabb and Taylor Sander. Victoria, how was this done here in match number 3 on court 1 today?
Yeah, we'll never say never, no matter who you're playing against. And Harrison and Miller are quite the duo together. As we mentioned, they earned a third in Virginia Beach to find themselves at the AVP Chicago Open. And now they took their first win, knocking out the 3rd seed, who will go into the contenders bracket. But what a ball game. It was Harrison's consistent attacking percentage, Miller taking away big space at the net for Harrison to dance around him there in the back half of the court. They stayed calm, cool, and collected. They focused on their side and played aggressive all game long.
Well, with that, Taylor's dropped down in the contenders bracket to contenders match number 16, where the winners, that's Wyatt Harrison and Brian Miller, will face the winner of the Higgins Smith and Logan Weber versus Phil Dalhauser, Avery Dross matchup, which is match number 6, happening shortly. Actually next here on our Valley Live feed. So Victoria Dennis, I'm Rob Esparro. Be sure to stick around for more AVP Chicago Open action. I drop off. Megan Bergdorf comes back in to call the next one with Victoria Dennis. We'll see you in a few.
One.